being disciplined was one of the ones that.
Okay, now we're live.
Okay.
I was like,
Dang. Hey, that's it. I'm done. I can't do this. I can't do this.
so we'll restart over. Hey guys, welcome back. So we
That's
thought we were live
hilarious.
again. This is still we're getting this together, guys. Appreciate you guys being patient. So
Don't
this is
make fun of
episode
him.
3,
This is first time.
right? We're finally live. We're actually live now.
Episode 3, the first third time. This is the first third time.
This
Take
is the
5.
first, third time. Take 5. Here we go. So today we have Joey Garcia with us. Again, guys, so we appreciate you tuning in. We ask that you please share the podcast, tag some friends, send it to people they think might be interested in this episode. The goal here is going to be to
bring experts and people that are really knowledgeable in their field, so we can get some information from them and give it to everybody, and also for us to learn from each other and to gain some knowledge and wisdom from everyday life topics, from everyday things, from manhood, fitness, and anything in between.
All right, so today we have Joey Garcia.
What's up, guys? What's up?
How you doing, Joey? You
Man,
excited?
man, this is my first podcast, man.
Bro,
It's very
you sure?
Yeah, first one.
Okay. Well, welcome, Joey. Tell
Oh
us
my
a little bit
God.
about yourself. Where you from? What do you do?
For sure. So I am a personal trainer. Been personal training for 17 years. Straight out of college. Went to Mary Hardin Baylor. There in Belton, Texas.
Okay.
D3 school. And growing up, man, I was my dad was military, so we did a lot of traveling. We did a lot of moving. Louisiana, Virginia, Germany. We were pretty much on the go all the time. So me growing up, man, it was kind of just being a kid who loved sports and loved to compete. Man, it was pretty hard just trying to get in one spot, get with one coach, get with one person to really help me. And my dad being an officer in the Army, shout out to all you vets out there.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Because without you guys, man, I don't know where we'd be. But
Right.
Yeah, man, my dad, he put a lot of discipline on us. I wouldn't say it was hard growing up, but he definitely gave us the direction of, obviously where I am today.
Right.
And being disciplined in things of nutrition and water and all those good things. So,
So your dad gave you that discipline?
oh yeah, yeah.
What were some things that he would do?
Just simple things. Mainly, growing up, life things like making your bed, when you wake up, cleaning your room when you get home, or putting your clothes out before you. Like, it's funny, the other day I was getting my clothes, man, and I'm like, man, I've been doing this since 2nd grade. This is crazy. Like, fold it, put it, you got your shoes, your socks, your chones, everything. Like, everything's right there, ready to go. Has to be, yeah.
Was that before bed or?
Oh, yeah, it's always before bed. And it's funny because
something that I struggle with that I would just do it tomorrow in the morning.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so it takes a while in the morning.
And me, man, I'm a girl, so like I have to match, color coordinate. My shoes got to match. Everything's got to match.
Girl,
so,
why you say girl?
Just because I'm very. A lot of women are very.
You like to look
I
good.
don't know. Yeah, they like to look. Yeah, they
it's
take care of
called,
themselves.
I think the metrosexual.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, so it's
okay.
It's one of those things where it started with like that. My dad, man, he just go clean your room. After your room, you get your clothes ready, and then you go play. You know what I mean? So
Right.
things like that. Doing the dishes. Like, I do the dishes. There's a lot of men out there who don't like to do the dishes, or they think that it's not what a man should do.
Enough.
Yeah, manly enough to do. So doing the dishes, cleaning the house, like all those things that my dad would just, he was the main. I mean, my mom too. Don't get me wrong. My mom, shout out to my mom because she stayed home. She was a caregiver that got us places and took us to practice,
Right.
and she was the one that would enforce it. And of course, if we didn't listen, then Daddy came in. He was like, "What you say?"
Came down. The law would come home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
The law.
yeah.
I'm gonna tell your dad. No, don't tell my daddy. Don't tell my daddy. So, but yeah, man, just those simple disciplines that that made me the man I am today.
Yeah. Okay. And you're passing this on to your kids as well.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. Yeah, and I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, Scarlett and Joey Jr. So, yeah, for sure. And it. So growing up too, man, my mom was overweight. I saw a struggle. What really got me into fitness was the struggle of her being. She was about 245, and we were rollerblading. We were actually, I think we were in Germany. She was rollerblading or roller skating at the time. I think rollerblades were back then, but roller skating, and she fell. And it took like 4 guys to get her off.
Oh, wow.
And to carry her off. And I'm like, man, that's embarrassing. Like, in my head.
Right. Like, dang, mom, embarrassing.
Yeah, so, in my head, I'm like, man, that's like, I got to help her.
Right.
She needs help. Like, I need to help her. So, and of course, man, with me being in sports, I played all the sports, man, from track to baseball, basketball, football. Obviously, I excelled in football and track. And,
When you say excel, what does that mean? Like,
I played all sports in high school.
Okay.
My freshman year, I played basketball, track, baseball, and football. And I was like, man, I just need to do football. Like I love football. It's my passion, man. I want to stick with football. So football was the one sport that I excelled in. And growing up too, man, I also was in a private school. Okay. So there wasn't very many kids. I mean, there was only 8 kids. My dad was a teacher at the time. My dad retired, got out of the Army, and he was our coach and my teacher. So now it's like
and your dad
super disciplined, and my dad, and my dad. Well, I always saw my dad as he really influenced me. I would never want to be like my dad, just because he's not around as much like he used to be. And we can get into that in here in a little bit, but I would definitely see him as a coach and a teacher, because he was great at that. Like that was that's what he should have got into. But as an officer, I guess that's what you are as well too, right. Because you're teaching your soldiers what to do and how to do things. So, but that's what he always brought with him. That was his. Yeah, he was the officer 24/7.
That's who he was.
That's just who he was. Yeah, that was his personality. That's just what he did. You know what I mean? So when he got home, there was love, man. Like there was love. There was definitely love, but there wasn't the love like I'm gonna give to my son. You know what I mean? Like, hey man, let's talk.
Right.
You know what I mean? Hey man, let's go out, just me and you. You know what I mean? Like there was never that connection. Okay. That normally a child would give to their mom.
Correct.
Right. Correct. So or open up, and that's the dad I want to be. Like I want to be the dad that takes my son and say, hey man, what's going on? How you doing? How can I help you?
There you go.
What do I need to do for you? You know what I mean? What do I have to? What problems are you facing right now? You know what I mean? And I already know, man. My son's gonna be way better than I was.
And I think that's, as parents, that's all of our goals.
Yeah. Oh, for
right.
Sure.
We want to be able to take them to the next level where we weren't. Right. So our parents got us here. We want to get we got here, and then we want to get them here.
Right.
Whether it's finance wise or health wise or just a person in general, whether man or female. You want to teach them that based on what you went, right? Because you felt, right, like, hey, I loved what my dad did, but I felt like I needed this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give that to my son.
Right.
And, okay, that's it. Because I'm the same way.
And that's what I struggle with, too, man. I was like my dad. My dad was always there. Like, he would go, man, to practice in his BDUs. And
what are BDUs?
BDUs are his uniform that he would wear for the Army.
Okay.
So, as an officer, he'd come out there, man, he would put his hands on his hips and he'd watch. And I'd be like, oh, that's my dad. Man. I got to show out. You know what I mean? Like, that's my dad. I got to show him what I'm doing. And and then of course all of a sudden, my parents split up. I stopped. It all went away, and it was kind of like part of me just was like ripped out.
Right.
And I had to kind of fend for myself. And me and my that's when I got closer to my mom. Of course, I always been close to my mom, but just got even closer. Right, you know what I mean? Like that's my rock.
Right.
Because I've always wanted to impress my dad. Like that was always the goal. I want to impress my dad, and it's always been like that. And I think that's where my not only my motivation comes from, but I think that's where, like, as a man, like, I want to be better than him. Because, I mean, officer in the Army is a big deal, being Hispanic. You know what I mean? Like, that's a big deal. Okay. And he was a lieutenant colonel. So that's up in the ranks.
Okay.
He's up in the ranks.
He's up there. Got it.
That's right before a colonel.
Oh,
so
okay.
You're looking at a medal, one of the medals
How
up there.
How many years was he?
20, over 20, 22, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, and now, of course, my brothers. I have 2 brothers.
Brothers?
They're in the Navy. 2 brothers. Yeah.
You were
a younger brother. I'm the middle child. So I have an older brother and a younger brother.
No girls.
Were they taught the same as you?
Oh yeah, they were taught the same as me. They were both. They just weren't as disciplined as I was. Like I was a very. I knew what I wanted to do. Like from 2nd grade for some reason. I think some of us are born like that. Like you know exactly what you need to do.
And what was that?
Not go execute. I wanted to be the first Hispanic running back in the NFL. That was my dream. That was my goal. That was what I was going to do. Like, that was it. Because there's not very many you see in the NFL.
No, definitely not. No.
So that was my passion. So I would train hard but I didn't know. I didn't have the knowledge, or I didn't have a coach. I didn't have somebody telling me, hey, don't eat those tortillas.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, don't eat that rice. Hey,
Right.
don't eat that. Don't eat this. It wasn't until I hurt my knee my junior year of high school. I tore my PCL,
Okay.
which is the back of your knee.
I tore my ACL my junior year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know exactly what you're going through. So I had to get the arthroscopic surgery. So they scraped out what was torn, and you try to obviously build it back.
Right.
You're so young that you can still be able to do that. Well, even nowadays, like Adrian Peterson, he tore his. I mean, everyone's know the Adrian Peterson story.
Right.
So no matter what you go through in life, man, you can always come back. Like,
Okay.
and I strongly believe that no matter what it is. So whatever you're facing, man, like you can definitely come back from and everybody loves a comeback story.
Right. And you think the fact that you knew what you wanted, you're like, I need to come back.
Yeah, I have to.
Because you're like, I still haven't reached
I'm not done.
what I needed to, or what I wanted to
Correct.
to reach.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not done.
Okay.
So that summer, we were in football camp, and of course it's my senior year. Baylor scouts were coming out, and man, I had to impress them, and I had to do so, and I just went too hard, and I messed it up again.
Ooh.
So my freshman year in college at Mary Hardin Baylor, because I didn't get a scholarship, I lost it because my knee.
Same knee, same injury.
Same injury.
Okay.
Yeah. So it would just what would happen is it would give out.
Okay.
So now we're tearing more of those tendons.
Okay.
All those are being torn over and over again. So my freshman year at Mary Hardin Baylor, I just fought through it. I just said, screw it. I'm going to fight through it. Like, I don't want surgery. I don't want to sit out. Like,
So you just let it heal for a little bit, and then
I would let it heal for the summer, and then Mary Hardin, after my freshman year, man, it just kept giving out. And the doc, his name was Billy, man. Billy was like, Garcia, you sure you want to go back in? Like, I'm like, yeah, I want to go back in. I gotta play.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a freshman. Like, who am I? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but my stubborn self, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And then of course I had to get surgery, and that wasn't the end of it. I tried to continue and tried to come back, and I was like, man, you know what? I'm going to school for this.
Mhm.
Let me do my own physical therapy. I'll do my own physical therapy. And sure enough, man, I did what I had to do to overcome the injury. And went to a combine here in Houston. And it's all about speed. So speed was what killed me. Obviously having an injury like that, and man, having to go through everything. But like I said, once again, looking back now, man, I'm pretty proud of myself because I didn't have a coach. You know, it was pretty much me all doing
Just
research,
pushing yourself.
or pushing myself.
Yeah, it takes a lot
because nobody's gonna do it but you. Like,
Correct.
no one's going to make you or going to force you. It's in your head. Everything's in your head. You know what I mean? So
I agree.
every morning I'd wake up, man. I'm like, let's go. You got to put in that work 2 times, 3 times a day. And the crazy thing about it is, like, I had a full-time job. You know what I mean? Like, at the time I was working at HEB day and night. So sometimes they would make me work overnight and stock shelves. So I would work day, night, and then go to the gym.
And why didn't you stop? I mean, you're busy, you're tired, you're working a lot.
This is a passion, man. It's your dream. You know what I mean? And
But
when you have it right there,
Mhm.
you know, when God places it in your heart, you know what I mean, and it's placed, there's nothing or anything that can stop
They
you.
can stop you, no matter what.
No matter what.
Yeah,
No matter
sometimes it's just easier to be like, you know what, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's Saturday.
Yeah.
You know what, I worked
Take a
Friday.
day off.
I worked
I'm
all week.
good.
I'm good.
My body hurts. Yeah. But I mean, you
But
know,
no, you were on it.
yeah, you just gotta keep going. And that was my man. It was my drive, man. That was my
How are you?
My
How are
passion.
your knees now?
way better. I'm a strong believer in box squats. Just because the full range of
That
motion.
explains a lot.
The full range of motion of your knee, man. It not only does it put a lot of tension on your back, but on your legs and your hips as well. And you know, my recovery. Yes, I was young, and I understand that because some people are like, oh, my knees, and they're already in their 40s or 50s or whatever.
Right.
And that's why I strongly believe in box squats. And then put a lighter load on, and you can do a full, you know, ass to grass is what people call it, you know, ass to grass squat, and that's fine. You're not going to tear the ligaments or muscles as much as you would if you were just to do a box squat with a heavier weight. You know what I mean? Because now you're using the glutes, you're using the hamstrings and the quads. So box squats are one of the things that I use a lot. Yeah, it's very key to doing that. But then I mean, both legs are pretty much very equal, if you will. They're equivalent to each other. So
but it took you a process to get there.
Oh man, it took a long process.
Yeah.
It took me, I'd say, about 2 years to be like 100%. Like,
and what does 100% mean?
Cutting, spinning.
Okay. So were you still playing, or were you still?
I then played semi-pro football.
Okay.
And I played semi-pro football there in Killeen, Texas, Central Texas, Austin area, for a little bit, and it was at that point in time going through relationships, and it was just a lot on me, and then of course working, and so, but I still had that passion to play. Like I still wanted to play.
That's good.
So it was, man. Like I said, it's been a journey. It's been a long journey. But back to my mom and what got me started in fitness. She then when she got hurt, I mean, like I was working out, man. I was probably, my first time I worked out was like in fourth grade, fifth grade. Yeah, we had moved to San Antonio, and
what do you mean by workout?
Like I would be doing crunches in my bedroom, push-ups in my bedroom. Like simple things.
Who taught you that? Where'd you get that from? Or what? You just knew?
Yeah, much of my dad. I mean, my dad was
he into fitness and like?
No, he wasn't really into fitness, but they always had their PT
drills,
camps.
yeah.
Their PT, their PT.
Yeah.
So, when they had to do PT, he would go and do like 50 push-ups or sit-ups, and when we were on the military base, we got in for free, so we could go and work out if we wanted to work out. So
that's awesome.
When he went to go work out, I would work out. But yeah, and that's what pretty much, that was my drive into fitness, was my mom. And I wanted to help her, and I wanted to be a difference, especially in the Hispanic community. You know what I mean? Because there's not very many Hispanics that you see that are either swole or lean or know what they're doing.
So around fourth grade is when that happened with your mom?
No, actually, that happened younger than that. That happened around second grade.
And how do you motivate your mom? What was the process to start trying to help her? And I mean, you're young, right? So you can only do so much. But what made you like, okay, mom, like, run with me, or look, we're gonna start? Google was around at the time.
No, she had it was her eating. Believe it or not, that's how she lost even more weight. What she would do is she would Atkins was big at the time.
Atkins diet,
diet,
which was more of a, what is the Atkins diet? More of a like a keto diet, like a hybrid of a.
More of a hybrid. Yeah, I think it was still less calories, but yeah. So what she would do, we'd go to a restaurant, and she would ask for a to-go box. I'm like, what the heck? My mom's asking for a to-go box. We just got here.
Right.
We didn't even order.
Before?
We didn't even order anything.
Wow, before you ordered, got it.
So she'd put half of the meal in the to-go box. She'd never see it. The other half of the meal she would eat, and that was her disciplinary, like,
that's her strategy.
That was her strategy. You eat this now, eat this later, and you're good. You know what I mean? Because I mean, nowadays, this is to be real. You know, people. I mean, we go to a restaurant right now, and you're eating 1,000 to 3,000 calories in one sitting. There's no portion control. So
the plates are so huge. You go to Olive Garden, and it's about, they even tell you 1,600 calories for this pasta.
Yeah, and then unlimited bread.
Yeah, or chips and queso, or chips and salsa, whatever the case.
We don't have to get into chips and salsa.
That's everybody's favorite.
And the chips, they don't tell you how many calories.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah. They tell you on the menu, but they don't tell you.
Let me get another beer.
Right? It's so easy.
It's so easy. So, but yeah, man, that's what she would do, and I saw that, and I was like, wow, okay. Like, and then over the process of months going by, she would lose more weight. But what happened was that she was getting flabby, so she didn't like that.
What is flabby?
Flabby, like, loose skin. She was having a lot of loose skin, so she was like, man, I need to. So of course, man, at this point, I'm in like middle school, high school.
So real quick,
and I'm getting into.
So when she started just doing that to-go box thing, she started just seeing results. She wasn't focusing so much on what she's eating. She was just trying to cut the portions in half, and that started helping her.
And I would imagine her doctor told her, hey, look,
correct,
eat this amount. You can't go over this, or you're gonna get the weight back on
So,
you.
so she didn't go straight into like, oh, I need to check calories. I need to be so straight. It was just like
straight
a
up
small change,
half,
and then that started giving her. And then once she noticed, all right, I'm kind of getting better.
Right.
I feel flabby. Now, what's the next step?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
So at this point, yeah, I mean, I'm in like middle school, high school, and we were going to different gyms. Obviously, went on posts and stuff like that. So she would do a lot of walking. She really didn't know what she was doing in the gym, which most people don't.
90% probably don't.
Yeah. So, so through high school, man, I got a part-time job working at Heritage Park Fitness, which is a little community gym there in Harker Heights, Texas. And I don't even know if it's there anymore, but I was at the front desk, whatever, and that's pretty much where she'd come in, and I would do my studying or like look and do research on like what to do for, women who were overweight or women who just wanted to tone.
Right.
But believe it or not, man, my first clients, because one day I had the owner come up to me and say, "Hey, man, you want to be a trainer?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want to be a trainer."
Right.
Like a little kid. Oh yeah, I want to be a trainer. So he was like, "All right, well, let's start you with kids, and we'll work our way up." So we did a lot of plyometrics, which are like jumps or like step ups or different things that body weight,
right,
calisthenics, jumping jacks, things like that. Like things that are they're simple but effective. Right.
Like the PE stuff that they show you in PE.
Yeah, PE stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Or like sprints or like would have relays, things like that.
Those are things you can do anywhere.
Yeah,
really,
anywhere
like
without any equipment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to the Conroe High and track and just doing.
Right. Okay.
So I started with that, and then of course worked my way up, and during that process too. So is when I hurt my knee, and then I met my coach. Me and my mom came together and were like, "Look, I need to get better. I need a coach. Like I need help."
Right.
And that was when I met Clint. His name was Clint Zepeda. And shout out to Clint, man. He was my dad. I saw him as my dad now at this point, because that was the time around my dad wasn't there as much, and there was a lot going on between him and my mom, and it wasn't good. It wasn't looking good, right? So this is like my sophomore year, my junior year.
And this is when you were already working at the gym.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where you started.
Yeah. So he taught me so much. He taught me so much, and about eating. And I wish I would have known a lot sooner, like when I was like 8 or 9.
Yeah. Why so young?
That's very young. Yeah.
Just because that's when you grow habits, man. Like that's when you really you grow your habits of what to eat, what's good, what's not. You're getting into sports, so you're seeing how you're feeling. Your body is changing. Obviously, going into a teenager, you really. I mean, that's why you see a lot of guys that. Whether it be like LeBron James' son, or those guys excel because of their diet. I don't think they excel because of who their dad is.
Genetics don't.
Genetics play a huge part. But it's up to that person to either work on it or just be like, "Oh, my dad's LeBron James. Like I don't need to work.
So I'm good.
Like,
I'm good already.
Yeah, I'm good already. Okay. You know what I mean?
So little Joey's gonna be like that. Hey, my dad.
I hope so. I'm not gonna force him. I would never be the dad to force it. But
I'm
gonna
educate him.
I'm gonna educate him on how. Hey, son, if you do this can get you
here. This can get you to the next level.
But if you don't want to, it's okay. You know what I mean? That's what you. If that's what you want to do. So same with Scarlett. And they're both extremely strong.
They are. So. Real quick, one time at PA Fitness, because he trains there, he took Joey, and the sled was on there, and the sled was what's the sled? Maybe 40 yards. That's what it is.
Give or take.
And how old is he?
He's 3.
He's 3. So little Joey got on the sled and just started pushing it. Everybody in the gym is turning around. Go Joey, go! And he's going, and he's going, and he pushed it all the way down. And I was like, but the fact that you brought him there, and then he sees you doing it, guided him to
want to do it too.
To want to do it, right? Like this is cool because Dad does it, and this is what I know, right? So that's pretty cool. I remember that because I was like, man,
he's only 3.
Yeah, he's only 3. I mean, he doesn't know anybody. He probably doesn't even know what he's doing. Right? He doesn't know like this is good.
But he knows the gym.
But he knows the gym, and he likes it.
And he knows too with good foods and bad foods. Like he's 3, but and I'll tell him straight up. Like they want McDonald's, and I'm like, that's yucky, and they're like, no, it's not yucky. It's like it's good. And I'm like, no, it's yucky. It's not good for you. And like they know now, okay, because of my schedule, Monday through Friday, they know I don't eat bad.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday is my day where I have a cheat meal. And
You
Sunday,
have cheat meals?
I'll have a cheat meal.
We'll get into
A
this
cheat meal,
okay.
yes. So, and they know, like,
Yeah, they know.
I'm not going to stop. Like,
Right.
they bye McDonald's, and I'll say bye.
Yep.
They'll say it too, bye. So it's one of those things, man. You teach your kids on how to discipline themselves and do things, and they're gonna just follow you right with you. So
right.
But yeah, so when I met Clint, man, he trained me. My first training session was horrible.
So a little closer to the
Yeah.
mic.
So my first training session was horrible. He wanted me to do 50 push-ups before I could go home. Bro, I was there from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Had to do 50 push-ups. That was it.
Good push-up.
I have a question. Why do trainers do that? Why every person that I've met that has a personal trainer, they overtrain them on the first day?
Because you'll never forget. You'll never forget.
Right, but they don't come back.
But you'll never forget. That's okay. It's okay if you don't come back. You'll be back eventually. Because you know exactly how you felt, and you know that you couldn't do it. So if you're willing, and I think that's where a lot of trainers in their heads is if you're willing to do the work, you're gonna do it. No, regardless. If you want it that bad, you're gonna do it. If you don't, then you're just another paycheck.
And
we don't want that.
So does that help you as a trainer be like, okay, this person did it, so now we can go to the next level compared to this person?
No. Because if you don't do it, it's like, okay, you didn't do it today. Let's try again tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he still gave me that.
But don't you think that people that are going in there don't have that discipline or that mentality or that drive to say, oh, tomorrow I'm just going to do the same thing and there's no way I'm going to do it?
Well, did they pay already?
I mean, most people pay for their gym memberships and they never come back.
Correct. But if they paid already.
So I think money's not a factor in terms of their motivation. Like, they'll pay to get out of it.
Yeah,
you know what
true.
I mean?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Absolutely.
So it's like, I've always seen that personal trainers push their clients a lot on the first day. And most of the people that I've talked about haven't said, oh, I'm going to go back. Most people say, I'm not going to go back.
It's really just trying to break you. A lot of trainers have a certain style or a certain way that they're training. So they want certain clientele. And that's the way I've obviously, I love everybody. But I know my limits too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I might kill you the first day, but I definitely want to know how you feel. Like, I ask questions. How did you feel after that? Do you feel like this is for you? If you don't feel like this is for you, then you're not for me.
So
and
it's
that's
like
okay.
a filtering mechanism.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's okay for
to,
me personally. For me, that's okay. If you're not the client for me, that's all right.
That's
I'd rather
okay.
have somebody come in here and bust their ass than just go half-ass
and not waste each other's time.
Yeah, don't waste my time.
And there might be another trainer that are willing to.
Because honestly, at the end
slow.
of the end of the day, man, it's like you're representing me. So if you're representing me, then I gotta have 110% every time. And if you can't, and we can have a conversation. Let's talk about it. You know what I mean? If you can't, then let's find somebody who can.
Right.
Because you're not for me. You know what I mean? That's not how I work. So,
do you think your clients or personal trainers' clients understand that that's what they're going in there for? Like, because most people go in there wanting for themselves, not saying.
It depends on the client. What are your goals? Well, I want to lose 20 pounds in 4 weeks.
Right.
Okay, well, it's what we're going to do. I'm about to kick your ass right now, and I'm going to put you through it. And if that's what you really want, then that's what we have to do.
And
I mean, that's just what's it.
Right.
Yeah. So it really depends on the client. Like, then that's why we have, you should obviously have a session where you guys are talking, what are your goals, what you're going through, things like that. And for me, I know that a lot of my clients, it's a lot of word of mouth. Mm-hmm. So, hey, I want to lose this amount of weight in this time. I got 6 months, whatever the case may be. I'm going on vacation. All right, cool. Let me put you through this workout, free workout. Your first workout's always free.
Right.
And see if you like it.
And you do that. You do give free workouts, because I remember I would challenge, a lot of times when I was working, I would challenge you.
You challenge me every day.
I challenge them every day. So, a lot of times I'd be like, Joey, like, what if it's, and I think I even asked it like that, like, what if it's like a 40-year-old person that's big? And then he'd be like, well, if they can't do, like, when I went with him or new people, he would make them do what the person that's been going with them for a year was doing. like straight off the bat. And like, Joey, why don't you start walking first, do this? And it's like, no, because this is what I do. So if
Well,
he's, and of course he changes it, right? Like
an
extension, the weights, of course, and
or you have to modify. Some things you have to modify.
yeah. So he does modifications, but he's like, if they can't do this, then this is the way I do it, and this is what I know is going to give him success. And I'm like, he's like, that's why I give him one free one before we talk about money, before we talk about goals, before we talk about whatever. Try it out. If you like it, talk to me. We'll get moving forward.
If not, let's try to find somebody who can, because there is obviously trainers out there who have the, not, I won't say patience, but like can take off the gas a little bit, because everyone's the same. I don't care what anybody says. Everyone wants to look lean. Everyone wants to feel sexy. Everyone wants to be toned. Yeah, I mean, I would say 90% of the people. I would say 10% of people are power lifters or people who want to get stronger.
Mm-hmm.
But 90% of the population want to be lean, skinny, flat stomach.
And be normal.
Yeah.
Is normal?
Normal. Below 15% body fat, average 15% body fat.
So what makes that normal?
I mean, just having an optimal health and lifestyle, just being.
So
the way, definitely your lifestyle. I mean, how you're eating and.
So can you be big and be healthy?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So then,
what do you mean by what do you mean by big? Like,
for instance, I know someone, right? Fat.
Okay.
So I know someone, right? And he would tell me, and this was a few months back, and then he's like, "Bro, I went to the doctor. Sugar level's good. Everything's good. I look good." He tells me I'm big and I need to lose some weight. But everything, all the tests they do, cholesterol, blah, 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 I'm good. He's like, but you see him and maybe most people will be like, man, this guy's probably has heart issues, right? So is there such thing as
he's good for now?
Correct.
Go ahead.
Correct. So is there such thing as being healthy and being big? Or is healthy mean, what does healthy mean? Like, does healthy mean you have to be 6?
I wouldn't know. I would say numbers. His numbers are great. He might be healthy. That's great. Awesome.
So that's what healthy is. Healthy is your your numbers, not what you look like.
Yeah, for sure, that's healthy.
Right, because
I do know also physique. Now, what you're looking like. Now, that's up to the person. Do you want to have a 6-pack? Do you want to have arms that are chiseled or chest that's chiseled or whatever the aesthetics?
Right.
Do you want that?
Aesthetics.
Right.
That's different. Right. Okay, because I do also know, now that it popped in my head, where I've had other people that are slim, and I'm like, man, bro, you ought to be good. Like, actually, no, I'm type 2 diabetes. I'm this. I'm like, you are? But look at you. And they're like, yeah, but
genetics.
His numbers aren't genetics.
It all starts with genetics.
So it doesn't always matter what you look like. Or maybe
in terms of health?
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of health, health has a lot of not a lot of definitions, but a lot of circumstances, or there's a lot that goes into health, right? Like your well-being, like your mental, emotional, your physical, your genetics, if you're predisposed to certain diseases, do you have certain things that you already have that are autoimmune diseases, or your environment, like do you live close to
close to the sun,
right?
California, things like that. Yeah,
There's
for sure. Weather, and that's why I do give a meal plan, but it's a very basic, generic meal plan that gives out everything from fats, carbs. I think I gave it to you before. Fats, carbs, and
didn't follow it.
I lost it.
And it's not a diet; it's a meal plan. It's a plan. So you have a plan. And diets for me, man, are if you can diet and do that for the rest of your life, perfect.
What does diet mean?
I think just being under a certain amount of calories.
So I don't know for the definition of diet. A diet is just what a certain individual eats.
Okay.
So
my diet can be different than your diet.
Oh, 100%.
Yes,
100%.
But your meal plan is not the same. Like what he's defining is like, this is your meal plan, meaning these are the certain foods that you should be eating.
Should be, right. Because I'm not a nutritionist. So I can't sit here and tell you, hey, you need to have this.
Right.
What I can say is that if you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight. That's very, you can look that up right now on Google and find that. So
a nutritionist would look at you and would make an assessment of what you specifically need.
Correct.
In terms of your nutrients. Maybe you're a certain person that needs more protein, or some person that shouldn't be having so many carbs.
So whatever you're eating, I can eat or can't eat. I don't know. It's your body. I have no idea.
Okay.
That's what a nutritionist would assess, and it
Okay.
would go from
But
there.
you cover more the fitness,
Basics.
the workout, the basics.
Everybody,
There's a basic line.
everybody knows what to eat. Don't sit here and tell me that you don't know what to eat. Everybody knows.
Everybody
knows what they should eat.
What they should be eating.
Yes.
Also,
Okay.
what they
And
shouldn't be eating.
correct.
Okay.
And that's the difference. I mean, that's the difference between everybody. Is like you know exactly you're not supposed to have. If you're
Fried
working
food.
at fried food or
Processed food,
Exactly.
potato chips.
Okay. But how do you know that, right? If you grew up and that's all you had,
They
how do
teach
you know
They
that?
teach
Oh
you
yeah,
in
they teach you in school. Oh yeah.
They teach you in school.
What school did you go to?
Candy Creek?
Yeah, they teach
Candy
you.
Creek. We need to talk.
Candy
Hey,
Creek taught us
we
that?
need to talk.
Yeah, they have health class. And even
Yeah,
then, like
yeah, in high school they do
Okay.
have absolutely. High
Yeah,
school, they
yeah,
the
have health
information
class.
I
is
guess so.
overwhelming in terms
But it's
of
up to the individual to either make those choices and get that information, or you don't.
Or no. Okay.
And then of course you find yourself 30, 40, 50 pounds overweight, and
that happens like this
quick.
because I remember when I was like, okay, and then this was a few years back, and all of a sudden I went to tie my shoe, and I was like,
Coño.
and I was like, what? When did this happen? Like, what? So real quick, so someone reaches out to you, hey, I want to lose weight. Basic thing you start off with.
How much?
No, just want to lose weight. 20
wanna
pounds.
lose
I want to
like
lose
me.
weight.
Let's say me. I want to lose 10 pounds.
Okay, 10 pounds.
The
by
basics. Just give
By
us the
when?
basic.
By the beginning of the year.
Does there have to be a buy win?
when? Yeah, absolutely.
How come?
Because you have to have a plan.
You have to have a measurement.
You have to have
You
you have to have
You
a.
have to have a
If
My
we're-
doctor.
measurable.
If we're starting a business, if you started your
Okay,
business,
okay,
right?
okay.
You started your business.
Right.
You want to make how much money by when? You want to make your money back, right? Let's say you took
Yes.
a loan out from
Yes.
the bank.
Yes.
You want to make your money back when? Within at least a month or 2 months, because then you got to make money.
Right.
'Cause
Right.
if you're not making any money, then
Correct. I mean, well, it could take longer, right?
Oh yeah, it could take longer for sure.
depending.
But you're gonna have a
Yeah, you have a goal.
time
So for
frame.
instance-
there's a set of things that you have to do to achieve a goal, right? It has to
Right.
be 5 or 4 things. Like it has to be measurable, attainable, realistic, and something else. Like, so you have to be able to do those. If not, your goal is more of a fantasy or unrealistic goal that you have.
So they just come to you, hey, my doctor said I got to lose weight. I don't know
Okay.
by when. I just got to lose weight.
Okay.
What do I do?
We'll put them through an assessment. Put them through the first workout, and
Okay.
then we'll talk after
Okay.
that.
I did my workout. Hey, I liked it. Appreciate it. What do we do?
Or
What do I do?
This is what I charge. I charge $300 a month.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
for
you-
3 or more
whatever
times a week.
Yeah, you charge the fee, and then what do I do now? I'm just gonna come work out with you every day, 5
Every
days a
day,
week,
yep.
and that's it. And I'm gonna lose the weight.
And then I will send. Actually after the first payment or the payment, then I say here's a meal plan.
Okay.
Follow this.
Okay.
Any questions you have, we'll talk
Okay.
about it and go from there.
Are you gonna weigh me? Are you gonna check my
Well, you
number?
already know you're overweight.
Okay.
You have that in your back pocket.
So all that's gonna be on me. Like
you have that on
Yeah,
you
that's all on you.
24/7.
Are you an adult or a kid or?
Right.
No,
You have
no,
to.
I'm
You
just-
have to.
No,
you
no,
have
man,
to
I'm
take
being-
responsibility
For
for
sure,
yourself.
absolutely.
Like you can't just say, "I'm paying you."
It's not all on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
I'm
can't-
gonna be here to
But
train you.
I'm paying you though. Like you need
Yeah,
to
sure.
do all this for me.
No, if you want that, then I'll be there 24/7. But that's gonna cost you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
that's like we're talking about 6,000, 7,000 a month for me to be there 24/7 with you. Then
so
I
it's
could
not
be
that
your-
easy.
could
I
be
can't
your
just pay you,
one-on-one
and you're
coach.
just gonna make me. I need to put in the work too.
Oh, absolutely.
I need to put
For
on my
sure.
side. I can't just
and
show
maybe a
up.
little extra. Like I said,
Yeah.
depending
How
on that
bad I
time
want
frame.
it.
I've had clients come to me. I need to lose 20 pounds in a month. All right, we're gonna take
Boom, boom,
extreme
boom,
measures,
boom, boom.
and there's gonna be extreme consequences that go with this. Like you're not gonna be able to eat whatever you want on Saturday, or go out to or have a drink on Saturday.
Right.
And that's everyone's problem. Alcohol is probably one of the biggest problems I have with a lot of clients is, oh man, bro, Saturday night or Friday night, I got done with work.
Get some wings,
get
beer,
Some wings,
yeah.
some fries, some,
Yeah.
beers,
Some wine.
4 or
But it was
5
only a little
beers.
bit of wings
Ladies,
and a little bit of
ladies
fries.
love the wine, and my majority of my clientele are ladies, so they love that wine, man.
Why do you think it's mainly women?
I don't know.
Would you
a good
say
question.
any amount of wine is acceptable or 0? It depends on the goal.
Cup.
A cup is
Yeah,
fine.
A cup is fine.
How
Or
about
glass.
2?
I say a glass.
How about 2?
glass. 2's pushing it.
Okay.
2 is pushing
We
it.
can push it.
Yeah.
We can put.
But it depends on your goals.
Right,
It depends on
right.
what you want to do. If you're just coming to work out because you want to better yourself and have a good workout, okay, great. But if you're getting ready for vacation, that's in 6 weeks, 8 weeks. All right, I mean, that's up to you though. I can only push you so much.
Have you ever had a customer where you're just like, it's been 6 months, and you're just not getting nowhere, maybe it's time for you to do something else or change your habits, or do you just keep training them like and just
Oh
keep
no, we
seeing
talk.
them?
Oh no,
Okay.
no, we'll talk. We'll say, hey, I mean, if they like it, they're obviously gonna stay,
Right.
right? But if they're not, if they don't see results, but they know it's them, like they know it's not the
Right.
gym.
No, it's
coming
you. I'm paying you.
Yeah, you're paying
It's
me to
not you?
train you.
Oh, okay,
You're
okay.
paying me to train you, but
not
it's
to
not.
be you.
Yeah, not to.
Okay.
I don't know when you after we're done with our session, you
You
go
don't know
home
what
and you
happens.
eat a burger, or tacos, or
So-
You can't even lift up his arm.
I know you're like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you. That's not on me.
Okay.
That's all the choices that you're making.
6 months come by. I'm like, hey, Joey, I haven't had no results, man. I'm doing everything you told me, 100%.
You're not.
Why,
But you're not,
Joey?
though.
How do you? Yeah, I am. Like, you told me this, and this.
So then I do an evaluation of what you're eating, how much you're eating. Well, first of all, if it's like that, if you're trying to have a goal, you need to have MyFitnessPal, and I need to see what you're putting in, what you're logging in.
So
there.
okay.
So then if I can see, okay, you're
So
eating
once
this,
you pull it up,
hey,
and
man,
then you're like,
so then of course then I would if nothing's happening, nothing's moving, I would definitely recommend or get a second opinion from another trainer or
Okay, that's good.
And I have no shame in asking questions to everybody else or I have no problem with going to a nutritionist and say, hey, look, I have this client, I'm gonna bring them to you, and maybe you can assess them, see what's going on. They're eating all the right foods, they're doing all the right things, but the
Maybe there's
scale is not
something
moving.
else.
There's something
There's
that's not going on, or she's
Okay.
not, or he or she's not telling me.
okay.
And maybe they don't feel comfortable telling me.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay.
So, but that's how that would go.
Okay.
What else you got?
No, that's good.
What is like your meal plan? What does it consist of? Is it just like your basic 40% protein, 40% carbs,
60, 30, 10.
60% protein,
60% protein, 30%
30%
carbohydrates,
carbs,
10% fat.
10% fat.
And it's a muscle building meal plan. It was given to from my coach when I was.
But I don't want to build muscle. I want to lose weight.
So
Well,
that's how you
fine.
lose
So,
weight.
Yeah, that's how you
Okay.
lose. Yeah.
So what do they tell you? I don't want to build muscle. I don't want to do heavy weights. I just want to lose.
We don't have to do heavy weights. It's just
Protein.
what you're putting in your body. It's all about what you put in your body.
So
Tell me what you eat, and I'm gonna tell you what you
You're
look
gonna-
like.
Yeah, it's not about
That's
Put on a
weight.
shirt.
It's about resistance. The resistance. We talked about it before.
Correct,
the
correct.
resistance that you
Yeah.
put in your body
Mhm.
through.
Yes, sir. Yep.
You
Exactly.
can do bands, you can do weights, you can do push-ups, you can do all that stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, and for me, man, I love the fact of taking the 2 days. So, a couple years back, when we first moved back Sarah moved back, my wife. When we moved back to Conroe or Houston, I got into the CrossFit a little bit.
Ooh, CrossFit.
I
CrossFit used to get a lot of hate.
what do you think about CrossFit?
I
Do you
liked
do you
it.
still
Man, I
support
liked it. I like the competitiveness because obviously playing football, those movements that they use were started in football, like from the bat. I mean,
Power
hand clean press, power clean, all those movements were all football movements. So I was accustomed to that. I knew what was going on. I knew how to do it. I knew what to do. Snatches, which are extremely hard. For just a normal person, because you have to snatch it over your head.
Oof.
So in one movement, yeah,
But that's
I can barely go.
It's a
isn't
lot.
A lot of aren't you like very prone to injury doing? a
very
lot of
prone to injury,
So
and
it's
it's
like,
unfortunate. But I mean,
what if you
it's-
want to do it for the rest of your life? It feels
It's
like
I think it's effective. It would just have to depend on the resistance of the weight, how much weight you're putting on the bar. Because I'd be straight up, man. I would like some days I'm like, man, I'm only lifting 95 pounds. I'm not lifting more than 95 pounds.
Right.
Right.
Whether it be a power clean or a hang clean or whatever.
So you like CrossFit? You think
I like it. It's good for somebody who is going to compete in CrossFit. If you're going to compete if you're 16
So it's a
through
sport,
27
more
years
than-
old, yeah, it's a sport. If you're going to compete at that age, go for it. That's great. You might not, depending on genetics, suffer from, aching bones or tendons or whatever
just
the
because
case
the
may be.
beat is so.
So fast.
Because I when I see people
Very
post,
fast.
they just post a billboard or a whiteboard, and they're like,
Correct.
I got to do all this, and I'm like in 3 days or
No, bro, in 3 minutes.
Dang.
As many rounds as you can in 3 minutes. No,
Back to back to back.
but it's I do like the concept of CrossFit. So what I did was that for a week we would do lighter weights, higher reps. And then after every set we'd get on the treadmill and we'd do our cardio, or we'd get on the elliptical, do your cardio, or get on the rower, do your cardio, just to keep your heart rate at a higher pace. And then the following week we would lift a little bit heavier, and then not initiate as much cardio because obviously it's putting a lot of load on your body. So, and a lot of people like that. A lot of people like that concept of doing the two, and just switching it up. Because to me personally, I'm doing this for longevity. Like I want to be, when I'm 65 like The Rock, and he's still, I don't know if we've ever seen The Rock do like box jumps or.
Does he do all that? I think he just picks up heavy weight and puts it down.
I think so too. Or he does a lot of reps. Like I know there's weeks where he does a lot of reps. But
is that genetics?
Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of it is. Yeah, his dad's huge.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it does have to do with genetics. Doesn't mean you can't change it though.
Right.
You know what I mean? Doesn't mean you can't.
You can maybe push.
So all the ladies and fellas out there, whoever you marry and want to have kids with,
think about
genetics.
Think about it.
Think about it. Sarah's a dancer. She danced through high school, college, on the drill team. I know our kids are going to be drill team. So I know our kids are going to be strong. Now it's up to the decisions they make growing up with eating candy.
Are they going to be 6 feet?
Oh, probably not. I don't know. Well, my father-in-law, he's 6'1". So
so maybe.
Please, Jesus.
Right.
Because I am not.
Let me ask you something real quick.
Good.
So since we talk about the kids, do you think you would push little Joey to be running back, or like to be football, or you're gonna guide him and probably show him, but
I want to push him, man, to whatever he wants to play.
I like it. Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't want to push him to not necessarily be what I was. You know what I mean? Because he could be, he might have the same genetics, but he could like receiver, or he might like defense, for all I know.
Or golf. He can be a real good golfer.
Or really golf. Yeah. So I want them to. I think we should, as fathers, is let them experience different things. You know what I mean? Soccer, baseball. I mean, see what their hand coordination's like.
What if he wants no sports? Piano.
Oh shoot, we gonna be all-star piano then. I guess.
I know you'll still love him, but would you be a little?
What do you think about?
No, we gotta practice, son. Let's go. We gotta practice.
All these kids that want to be YouTubers. What do you think about that? There's something about YouTube, or something about, because YouTube is just a platform, right?
Yeah, it's a platform.
So Correct. It's like, what are they wanting to be in YouTube, right?
I think a lot of them want attention. They're not getting attention somewhere, whether it be their father or their mom. They want that attention from other people. They want the comments from other people because they're not getting it from home, obviously.
Correct.
And then, of course, with that follows money. You know what I mean? And a kid who's 10, 12 years old making millions of dollars, what does that look like?
Right.
I think whenever we were young,
and then mommy and daddy comes in like, hey, I love you. You're the best.
Yeah.
Our dream was be some professional something.
Because we saw it.
Professional player, right? Because they got all the attention and they got all the fame.
Fame, the money, everything.
Correct.
As young males, the women, everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And I truly believe, I think being like that, growing up through high school and playing sports, I hope that's why the reason I got hurt, because I don't think I would be the same guy I was today if I didn't. Yeah.
I had a similar story as you. I got hurt at my junior year. Junior year, summer of between sophomore and junior. Got hurt, was out of sports. I couldn't play soccer anymore. Kept playing, got hurt again. Got a surgery. Kept playing, got hurt again, stopped playing, and then got hurt again, my other knee.
So real quick before you continue, that's why I have no excuses. That's why I believe there's no excuse. There's no excuse why you're not here. If me and him, right, because of the mentality of we have to get better, there's no excuse. You're telling me that you're tired or you're hurt.
I work a lot.
Okay, great. That's awesome. I'll see you tomorrow at 8:00. You know what I mean? So, okay, continue. I'm sorry. I had to throw that in there real quick.
No, but I try to do my own, personal training, physical training. Nothing helped. Nothing. Not that I gave up, but I just okay, I'm going to focus something else. Got my college degree, did all that. And now, it's not until now, till maybe 2 years that I've been more focused on fitness. And now this past year that I've been focused on my knees. On a program, I don't know if you know the program called Knees Over Toes. It's this program that this guy, it's an AGT program.
Okay.
And he, what he's done, and it's just a basic, I just have a basic book. And he's do this book for the next 2 years and then come back, and then we'll start working our way up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've neglected my knees so much for the past like 10 years
Right.
that it's just
Horrible.
yeah. So
Bad.
now it's like having to rebuild that
Correct.
from the ground up.
Yeah.
Um,
And like I said, man, every client's different.
Right.
Everyone has their situation, you know, and that's what I love about, you know, training
it's like
is
the
that
problem solving. that
you have
go
to
through.
problem solve every single day, and you know there might be days where hips hurt and you got to modify something, or knees hurt, like he was saying, and you got to modify that, or you know, or you're just tired and you're like, hey man, let's go. Why are you here?
Right.
Let's go. You have to do this. Your doctor said you were overweight.
So we need to fix it.
All right, let's go.
Right.
Yeah, so we need to fix it.
How do you motivate someone that's just getting started? Do you tell them certain things, or what do you do to try to motivate?
So that, I mean, you have to relate to their story.
Okay.
Is one. And you know, me being going through what I went through with my surgery and my mom. So I mean, I know what that looks like. You know what I mean? So I've lived it. So I was overweight myself.
You, Joey Garcia, was overweight.
As much as no one wants to believe, yes. I can get my mama on here.
Yeah.
My uncle would actually call me. He would, when we would go to the valley. Every time I would go to my grandpa's house, because both grandparents lived in the valley. So one lived on one side of town, the other one lived on the other side of town. So when we were at my dad's side's dad's house, his brother would come up to me and he'd be like, "Que pancita, que pancito." I'm like, man, it bothered me so much. It would tear me up, and I would just. But I didn't know what to do at the time. I was like 7, 8 years old.
But right now, thinking about it, like makes you like.
Nah,
still,
nah.
well, no,
I'm like, I proved him wrong.
Right.
So,
Gotcha.
So
you didn't get all sad and depressed and
no.
I'm just gonna be fat forever.
Yeah,
Go eat
exactly.
some marshmallows.
Yeah, go eat some tacos.
Right.
So
just keep
no,
eating
I
them.
just and you know that was another big thing too. Was growing up, and especially in high school, my and you guys might relate to this, and a lot of Hispanics relate to this too. Is my grandma would make food, and she'd be like, "Ten mijo, coma," or
Right.
you know what I mean, and I would finish it, and she'd be like, "Then
More.
Oh,
I'm like,
man.
I said, Grandma, I'm good, okay, and I'm like, I'm good,
Nope.
and she looked at me like,
You
that's disrespect, like,
you
okay.
disrespect.
But I had to.
I think in our culture, in Hispanic culture, a sign of being skinny is a sign of poverty and a sign of like you are not enough, like in society.
Yeah.
So they have it in their mind that, you know, if you're skinny, you are like at
You're
the
out here.
lowest of the
Bye.
lowest.
You get out of my house.
True. That makes
So,
that makes sense. Now that you say it like that, yeah. Because I remember you were like, "Ay, era pobrecito."
but see, I
mira."
had to. I knew
You
because
knew.
of what I was going through. I had to say no, and I said we had a talk, and I'm like, Grandma, I love you to death. Like you're, and my mom's the same way. My mom will cook.
I think we've all had
Is
that
that
talk
nature in-
with your
it
mom.
is.
It's
It
like
is.
I think we've all had that talk whenever we change that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, mom, family.
And she knew, and finally, I mean, it took, it took 2 years for my mom to like, in her head, like, okay, he doesn't want
more
this.
or extra.
I have to make chicken, and that's it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
he doesn't want the rice, he doesn't want the beans. Like, so in her, I mean, it was a total change, especially because she was so used to making for everybody.
Right,
you know
right,
what I
right,
mean?
right.
And to now just being like, so when I did my first show, and my family saw it, they were like, "Oh my goodness!" So
This is what
she was. Yeah, this is what
This
he's
is
been
why
working.
he-
This is why
he
yeah.
was disrespectful.
So now,
when he was
boom!
6.
Now they understand, and it was like, oh wow! If I have any questions, I gotta ask Joey. You know what I mean?
So when you motivate people, you tell them your backstory, you try to help them find a way.
No, you have
like
to.
what pushes you.
You have to definitely relate to them and what their story is. You know what I mean? Like, what's your why? You know, everybody has a why. It doesn't matter who you are. Everybody has a why. Why are you going to the gym? Why do you want to look this way? Why do you want to? Is it just because your overall health? Is it because you're getting ready for a show? Is it because you are overweight and the doctor said? Is it because there's a why?
Mhm.
But it's up to me to dig deep down into what's that why. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And once I find out what that why is, then that's their motivation.
Explode it and
It-
help
Help.
keep bringing it up in a way
Correct.
so it keeps them focused on what
Right.
they need to do.
Correct. And you'll have some that just won't want to, and it's unfortunate. But I mean,
because
I can only do so much.
I think that even though like personal trainers are very, very, very resourceful and everything, there has to be a change in lifestyle, like completely. Like people can't say, "Oh, I'm gonna."
But that's
do
the
this.
reason why people go to a personal trainer,
right? To get
or
started.
that should be the reason why. I mean, it should be because they want to change. There's something that they need to change.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But
so
in their mind, they have to. I always tell people, like, in your mind, you have to understand that this is a lifestyle change forever.
Yeah.
Not you're gonna go
Uh-huh.
back next week after you've done this weight and gonna go back to your lifestyle of I'm gonna eat whatever I want.
Right. Correct.
And I think that's the biggest thing that people have a hard time with. They try to get ready for that wedding or that vacation, and then they get there.
They feel great.
Right. They get there and they're like, all right, I'm good. But because they did it for that reason, they didn't do it to try to switch everything. For instance, me, you know how I eat. I eat good. I eat very good. Broccoli.
You eat too good.
I eat really good. So
like a king.
Like we talked about this last week, but I eat good, but I still made that change where I still, the old me would have shoom.
Yeah.
You know, now I think.
But
like,
you know.
But I know.
That's all that matters.
And I know, and I'm okay
Knowledge
with that.
is power.
Right. So I'm okay with that. But I think a lot of people are like, man, like,
you're okay with what?
I'm okay with
where you're at,
where I'm at, and what I'm doing. Right. So
now.
like Joey knows, I want to get to a certain weight, right? And I'm okay if it takes me a year or 2 years or 3 years.
But why? Why do you want to wait that long? That's what I'm trying to understand.
But I'm okay
That's
with that.
My why for you.
I think because the reason for me is just I like my lifestyle, right? And I'm okay with it, and I'm good with doing it slow, right? And I feel maybe I haven't tested it, right? But if I switch everything 100%, maybe I won't like it. Maybe I'll hate the gym. Maybe I'll hate, in my mind, maybe I won't like it anymore. Compared to now, I can make small changes, and I made small changes in the household.
So what is your goal? Because nobody knows.
You should take a survey, and see if you can be any way you want to be, or be a certain way, or look a certain way, or huh?
No, it's because he's pulling up a poll, but I'm like, not with our viewers, your own survey.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying, just in general, and do a poll of like, if you could look the way you want to, any way you wanted to look, and be the weight that you wanted to be, your dream weight, whatever that is. How would you be that? How would you take it? Like, what would your
correct? So, for instance, me, I'm okay with how I am now.
Oh, you are?
Every day, I'm good. Do I want to get a little bit better? Yes, but I do it at my pace, at what I like, right? But I don't complain, right? So I don't sit there and be like, dang it, why am I, weigh this much? Why do I have my gut? Why do I have this? Why do I have, like, I don't complain, so I'm okay with it, right? To me, it's more like people that I've met are like, man, why do I eat like? Because you eat the way you eat. Well, still, but I ate one salad or something. I made a few changes. Okay, well then, I don't hate myself, so I don't push myself that much. But when I was heavy a few years back, like I instantly changed, and I got to where I felt comfortable. I'm comfortable right now, and
so you like the long process.
I love food.
Yeah.
Everybody loves food.
No,
that's the
no,
worst
but I love food.
Everybody loves
No. Like, I love food.
Somebody who's into fitness and who eats right.
Loves food.
I love, like, if you said a burger right here, right now, I would love to eat it. Am I going to? No. But that's my weakness. Like, you're literally putting my weakness in front of me.
You don't understand that everybody loves food.
Everybody loves food.
And
donuts.
Oh
my God,
hold
donuts.
On.
Stop.
I love food, and I'm gonna enjoy food.
No, what you're saying is you lack the discipline to restrain yourself from the food that you like.
But the discipline.
That's what you're saying. You're not saying you love food. Everybody loves
discipline.
food,
and a lot of people do.
But I don't think I lack discipline because, for instance, I love my business.
You never question it.
Time out. Are you tracking yourself? Like, are you making progress every single day, or every single week, every single month? Right. Are you making that progress that you want to make? Because if you're not making progress,
small changes.
That's not a long process.
Not
that's
changes.
A stalled process.
That's not change. I said, are you making the changes? Like, is the scale going down? Is the muscle going up? Like,
the scale is staying where it's at.
Remember, you have to have a plan.
Correct. So again,
you said 2 to 3 years. So what's the date? You don't know yet.
Summer of 2023.
Okay.
4 or 5.
Because
But again,
when we
I'm
talked,
good. For instance, we went to Florida.
I'm good.
We went to Florida. I took my
Everybody's
shirt off.
fat.
And
Everybody's
well,
everybody.
No. There are some dudes that are jacked. I'm like, damn, look at that guy.
How many?
A lot.
How many?
I would say half or
No.
I would Florida and the beaches and where we were
Florida
at.
and Miami, yeah.
I would say half
Okay.
or
I've never been there, so I can only imagine.
Okay, but it was like half and half, right?
That's
Cause I go to Galveston, I'm like, damn, I'm gonna rip this one out here.
Oh, that's Galveston.
Yeah.
That's like going to Walmart and shopping for Chanel. It's like, no, that's not gonna happen.
Right.
Okay.
But but again, I'm uncomfortable based on your what you said earlier about I lack the discipline, right? So I love my businesses and I grind them and I'm on it and I'm disciplined there in my businesses, right? Because that gives me joy and that gives me happiness and I'm happy and I'm comfortable and I'm good and that's what I am. Where I am now with my fitness and what I look like, I'm happy. It keeps me going. I'm good. I wake, yesterday I did legs. And like I said last week, I've been really focusing on my legs. So yesterday, even though I was tired, even though it was in the afternoon and I hate working out in the morning, I was there and I was doing it, right? But I was okay with that, right? And I'm okay with doing the small things because I'm enjoying my process. So my businesses, I enjoy my process of working, grinding, waking up early, late, whatever, in between, things, fixing. So I think, like you said, I might lack the discipline, but I'm okay.
With that lackness.
But we didn't say anything about the gym. It was all about the food.
Even food, right? So, we went to Panera 2 days ago, and I wanted the big macaroni and cheese, and I wanted a sandwich. But I got me an Asian salad, no sé qué, and I got me a small mac and cheese with an apple. I wanted the bread, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get an apple. So
you're good at that.
So I'm good with that, better. Right? So the old me would have been like, give me the big sandwich, and I want the big mac and cheese, and go ahead and give me a bread, and then I'm gonna go get a cinnamon roll after that.
Right.
That was the old me. Now, you can ask him, man. I was like,
love food.
Right.
Right now, just the love food.
But at that point, that covers me, right? I got what I wanted, my mac and cheese, and I ate okay, and I had water, right? And then other days, it might be the opposite, right? Other days is like, hey, my lunch, breakfast, I'm going to go get me some breakfast tacos from Stripes, and I'm going to freaking eat like 3 of them. But then my lunch is going to be the meals, and my dinner is going to be the meals. So it's like, but I'm happy with that. I care about my happiness. I don't want to.
You're saying it like if we're not happy. Like
you
if
guys aren't. Joey's not happy. Joey wants me to have a 6-pack.
Because he doesn't eat that taco.
Joey wants me to have a 6-pack.
Yeah,
he's not happy with me.
That's what you told me.
No,
I'm going off what you basically said.
I've never in my life, and anyone I was like, I'm never gonna have a 6-pack because I'm just never.
Okay, well,
because I'm not disciplined enough. That's what it is. You guys just
made
me realize
if you're happy with your body and you're happy, then you're happy.
Right,
you're
fine.
happy. That's fine.
It's what you want.
What you want.
It's absolutely. And as a trainer, man, and that's another reason why too is that I don't really. Some clients you don't have to push. Like they just want to come work out. They want a bomb ass workout. They want to go home feeling like, man, that was good. So, but with you, if you're having a certain like date that you want to look, just make sure you're making progress.
Right, you're inching away
weekly,
that,
monthly.
For instance,
to get there,
we're gonna go to Florida again, hopefully in the next 2 months. So right now I'm gonna grind a little bit harder. And go to Florida again, and then I'm just gonna chill again.
Yeah, it's like the bodybuilders. They're not 4, 5, 6% body fat all year round.
Yeah,
correct.
They're like, oh, this competition.
This guy. What are you at right now?
Probably like 10.
10?
Yeah.
Think he's at 10?
I don't know. I can't see.
Can you stand up for the camera, please?
Oh, yeah. 10. I don't know about 10.
Pull the shirt a little bit, Tennessee.
I have my faja on.
Oh.
Is PG show.
I wear a faja.
What is a faja?
The belt.
Dang. Sorry, we gotta cover the nipple. Dang, now we can't post this on social media.
Sorry, guys.
God dang.
But yeah, I wear faja. So.
Yeah.
But I'm getting ready for a show in August, so I'll be doing a show in
August.
August.
So you've taken your.
It's right around the corner.
You're taking your.
Taking it.
Come on, bro, you got it. You can do it. I believe in you.
Well, I don't know how to call it. Taking your lifestyle harder, or
I don't want to say harder, because I'm already used to it, so it's not.
But you still tweak. Because I remember we talked last time. You still tweak here and there.
Yeah, I mean, as far as your food. Yeah, I mean, the closer you get, the less. For me, what's worked for me is less carbs, and then carb loading the day of the show. You know what I mean? That's what's worked for me personally. So it just really depends on the individual.
Right.
I mean, I can't sit here as a trainer and say, oh no, this is gonna work for everybody. This is it's definitely gonna be up to that person.
It's guided to help, but then
Yeah.
from there you make a change. What if you're the opposite, right? What if you can't eat enough?
Oh, trust me, once you start training, well, the way I train,
if you're slim and you're like, man, I just can't put no weight on. I eat.
Now that you're going into mass gainers and you're looking at, we definitely have to up your calorie intake. But you're saying you can't, but it just depends on the person. Like we have to definitely evaluate the person and see what's. Yeah, it gets way deeper than that. Then you get into supplements, which we can get into now if you want to get into.
And supplements are just real. Supplements is what you should do, or that just supplements what you're already doing.
But I believe for me, my thought of supplements are to enhance your body to get better than what it's been. If you're stuck in a rut, so a lot of supplements help you get better or help the body adapt to what you're doing, and then. But it honestly all goes back to food. If you're not going to eat the right foods and you're not going to be disciplined on the food, you're wasting your money on supplements. You're not going to benefit.
Because I know a lot of times some people might be like, well, if I buy this, and this product, these pills, these capsules, that's going to help me get there.
Oh, yeah, it's going to help you. But
not if you're not still.
But what are you eating?
Exactly.
Yeah, if you're eating your chicken and french fries or your burger and fries or whatever the case may be, tacos and rice and beans and all those,
So what
and desserts and things like that.
I guess we can go into like foods. Like what's wrong with rice, right?
Nothing's wrong with rice. How much rice are you having though?
Right.
So I normally can for me personally, I can only have half a cup of rice. Because I feel like I get bloated, right? So whatever it is that you're eating, it doesn't matter. You can eat whatever you want. Sure, have the burgers and fries. In moderation,
right.
Oh, don't go crazy.
So don't go over your calories.
Because personally, I could sit there and eat 2-3 burgers and a whole bunch of fries, but I know in my mind, tomorrow's workout is gonna be shit.
So I tested that theory about when I eat it bad the night before, and then I would have pre-workout in the morning.
Mm-hmm. I told you, bro.
It's not a good combination.
I heard that from last podcast.
Yeah.
So and it's so true. It's so true.
And you feel that way. And he would tell me like on Mondays, like with the weekend, he's like, all right, we'll see Monday morning what you ate all weekend.
Man, bro, as soon as he got there, 2-minute warm up, I'll be back.
And then I would feel groggy. I would feel just like I wanted to be there and I was ready, but then my body was like, nah, slow down a little bit.
It's all the heavy things and processed that food has in it. So you go around and make a salmon or eat a chicken breast or just regular or steak, even steak. You eat those foods and then you work out the next day, or it's just a better feeling. It's just a way better feeling.
So you would say that there are different values. I mean, calorie is a calorie, right? But in terms of food, there's healthier, more nutritious food.
Correct.
Oh, look at this guy. Pull this. Look at this guy. Is this a show you did here, GMC?
Oh yeah, that was my show I did. Yeah.
When was this?
A couple years ago, 3 years ago.
But
the funny thing with that was that I in my head I thought, oh, I just did a show. I'm 2% body fat. I can do whatever I want. That's not the case. Because it catches up. Those bad calories that you're intaking catch up to you, and that's when I learned, like, dang, I cannot eat whatever I want to and still be 2% body fat. Right. You know what I mean? But I knew that. Like, it's funny. The crazy thing is that I knew that my coach from high school, when I was training, he told me that. Like, you can't outwork a bad diet. It's never going to happen. Never.
What if you are at a calorie deficit but eating crappy foods? Or lower quality proteins.
You might benefit from it. You may benefit from it. But what are your workouts? I mean, what's your body look like? You know what I mean? Like, I would definitely want to see what your body's looking like. Are you getting shredded? Or do you look? Are you bigger? Are you can you do a show? You know what I mean? Are you getting the results that you want?
Right, because like let's say in jail, right? All the people that don't have high quality proteins, right?
Correct.
But they're shredded, right?
But they're not big.
Some of them
they're not show ready.
Right, you're right. So to get show ready, you're saying calorie deficit, high quality foods,
with a consistent workout. I mean, your workout has to be, you have to have the equal of heavyweight and lighter weight, because you still want to push that muscle to the max. So, yeah, I mean, and it all goes back to what do you want to look like? How do you want to feel? Because you're right. I mean, as soon as you eat that cheat meal and you take pre-workout the next day, you're just like, shit, why did I do that?
And then you feel it. All right.
I was stupid.
So, what's the last feedback that you would give somebody real quick that's needs to take that first step to really start losing their weight or feeling better? What advice would you tell them? As far as like, hey,
but like I said, bro, you have to know you have to hear their story. What's the story?
They need to get
There's always a story,
right?
And that's what I love about training. Is like there's always a story. Oh, my dad. Oh, your dad. So you have daddy issues. Okay, that's where it is. That's where it's at.
We all have.
Yeah,
because we've all.
And I wouldn't say insecurities. I would never say insecurities. I would say there's just a story behind it. Like, what's the story? Because I'm perfectly fine. I love me. I love me. I love me seeing me, and that's great. If you love you and you do you, that's perfect. That's okay. But you know what I mean. Like if you're sitting here saying, hey, I have to lose this weight at this point. Okay, what's the story? What are you going through?
So one person listening right now, I need to lose weight right now. I need to start tomorrow.
I think you have to ask your why and what is your goal.
Figure out why for everything.
How bad do you want?
How bad do you want it? You would say that.
How bad do you want this? Because if you don't want that bad, don't waste your money. That's number one. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your time. And then turn around. Don't waste my money. Or don't waste my time. I'm sorry. Don't waste my time. Because that's the last thing I want to do to any client is waste their money and waste their time.
Right.
Because it's,
So
time is money.
I would, and this goes for everything on a journal, write down your goals.
Yeah.
But you have to dream big. Like dream big. Like what is your ultimate, goal?
Huge.
Like what is like right now? Like what is your goal?
And honestly, I think a lot of people. Like, oh, I have to have that burger and fries, or I have to have that taco, or I have to have that cake.
Taco Bell just came with the new burrito. I have to have it.
Like I have to. You don't have to have it, but if you do want it, I'm not saying you can't have it. Work out for Monday through Friday. Be disciplined Monday through Friday.
Right.
Saturday, have your cheat, and that's how I do it.
Reward.
Have your reward. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everything has to have a reward behind it.
Right.
What's the reward?
My reward. You could also find a substitute for what you like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like if you like burgers, find a high quality lean meat, high quality like vegetable, spinach, lettuce. Substitute for mayonnaise. Substitute for.
And there's substitutes. I've learned that with these guys.
Yeah, and also, Sarah Lee has a bread that's only like. Oh man, I can't remember what it is.
Calories.
Yeah, it's like 40 calories. There is a lot, but it's just the lack of us, of the individual, getting deep and saying, okay, how bad do I really want this?
Because if you want it, you'll get hyper obsessed with every single little detail.
Yeah.
And I've gotten there, not as much as you guys, but I've gotten there.
And yeah, like I said, it's like, obviously now I can't have a cheat meal. Well. I go on vacation tomorrow, so
right, yeah.
But
you're gonna be, but you got a show coming up.
I have to.
What do you want? How bad do you want it?
I have to be disciplined.
What are
you gonna do, Joey? You know what? I want to see pictures of these meals. I'm gonna see your fitness pal. When you get back, I want to see your fitness.
It's funny because
the math has to
it's actually really funny because these restaurants that we have that are on the resort have like they're portioned out, so it's not like they're serving us piles and piles of food.
Right.
And then of course, like for breakfast is like it's a buffet or like.
So
all you can eat. So you pick and choose what you want. So
you can't blame it on the restaurant.
You can't.
Do you go to restaurants? Like, do you go to restaurants
for
here?
Sure.
Yeah. Do you get
Last night we went to Lupe Tortilla, and we got the beef because Scarlett loves steak, so we got the beef fajitas for two, and all I had was, and she goes, it's funny, she was like, she saw me and she was like, do you want flour or corn? And I'm like, corn. So she brought me the corn tortilla, and she brought my daughter would get the flour. But that's all I had. I only had the fajita with the tortilla.
So I think that's what people need is like those resources to like, okay, you still can go out and eat.
Correct.
Yeah.
But you can't just say, I want the stir fried and the fried
first
this
it's I want the margarita, and then it's
2 margaritas, please.
And then let me get a appetizer.
While I'm eating the chips. So like yesterday,
you haven't even started and you're like
full.
1,000
Yeah,
calories.
1,000
in.
calories in deep. Yeah.
But the plate I got is only 500.
Come on.
Well, see, yesterday we went to Mama Juanita's, and I ate pretty good. He saw the picture, but
Wait,
that
was
was Mama Juanita's.
oh,
But what I did in between that, I didn't get mini chips. When normally we would finish the basket,
Yeah.
and I didn't get tortillas with my meal. So I do small changes.
good,
right?
yeah.
So
what
it's
did you have for lunch?
But you
and
know,
breakfast?
a meal here.
you know how that makes you feel.
Correct. And
that's
I
what
was
I'm trying to
okay
tell
with that.
everybody is like,
And
that's you need to go off of your meals or your plan depending on how you feel so I tell a lot of my clients too, like, okay, eat the rice, but how do you feel after the rice? Or how do you feel after whatever it is that you're going to eat?
And sometimes, well, real quick, yesterday, so while I was at the gym, we went to the gym 3 hours after we ate, and I felt still a little full, but I was like, man, if I would have eaten more chips or more tortillas, I would have been full. So I was like, hey, so what you said right now, I also know that because sometimes I'll eat a Van Thong, and I know what I'm going to feel like, and it'll take me 2 or 3 days where I don't order because I'm like, man, I'm going to feel big, I'm going to feel bloated, and then it'll be a certain day.
But you still do it.
But it'll be a day where I'll purposely have a shake, and then, I'll eat a good snack, a Greek yogurt or something that we have here, and then I'll be like, all right, today's the day. Then I'm going to feel bloated, but I'm going to be happy with it, and I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to go to the gym, or, and then by my dinners. So I do make, when before it'd be like, I'm ordered today, I'm ordered tomorrow, I'm ordered the next day, I'm ordered the next day.
And the big one for me is just carbs. I mean, depending on the carb, whatever carb it is, whether it be, potatoes, sweet potatoes, or whatever the case may be, it's like, man, I have to be careful. Rice is
it because you have too much of it?
Yeah, too much. Not that it's bad. It's not bad at all. I don't think any carb is bad at all.
It's like
just
if you have over
much.
40, then that's 40%.
Yeah.
That could be too much, but
Correct.
as long as you stay in that window.
Correct. Yeah. And it just depends on the person and
But
what
the
goals
numbers
are,
add
too.
up a lot.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So if you have like 1 cup of rice, that's it. But then if you have beans, and then you have tortilla.
Oh man, that's a lot. Like it adds
up. So the
up.
point here is make small changes.
Yeah, small.
Cut it in half like your mom did.
Because we have time. We have time, literally. But I mean, I'm saying like, if a normal person or somebody who comes up to me and says, "Hey, I need to lose weight," it's normally 6 to 12 weeks that we have. So 6 to 12 weeks. So.
Gotcha. Well, anything else?
No, we'll leave it to a hard question.
Give him one hard last question. Deep, hard. Food
hard
or
question.
Workout or meal or anything from
what was I gonna say? Man?
anything from the viewers.
I forgot. Anything from what the viewers got? Anything? Y'all keep looking at the screen and I'm like, I'm left out over here. Leaving me out over here.
Somebody said, should they take pre-workout?
Oh, supplements. Let's talk about it. Depends on the person. It honestly, guys, I can't explain it anymore. It just depends on the person. So I get a lot of people asking me about caffeine. Caffeine's a big one. It's like another America's number 1 drug is caffeine. One of America's number 1 drugs is caffeine. So I always tell people, like, go half a scoop. Pre-workout's not bad for you.
No matter who you are.
No matter
Age,
who you are. Now, if
gender.
you have heart issues, you might need to,
watch out.
Ask your doctor.
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean? So, but I always say, hey, if you've never taken pre-workout before, start with half a scoop.
Regardless of what the jar says or whatever it is.
No, because there's for females, they have pre-workouts, and for males, they have, Now it does depend on wherever you go. Nutrition Central, F&H here in Conroe. What's another one that's around here? Nutrition Central, F&H, GNC. They should be able to tell you, okay, hey, this is a more potent pre-workout. It's gonna it has this much caffeine in it.
So you recommend people to take it.
Yeah, you can
to help them.
You can take it to wake up and to
energy.
Yeah.
Energy. It's energy, and some of them have pumps. So you get a pump, which is nitric oxide, which goes into the bloodstream, and it gives you a pump.
What's a pump?
Like when you're working out, and it tightens your muscle. It helps them tighten your muscle.
Okay.
So, that I don't ever see anything wrong with pre-workout, but I mean, it's like I said, it's up to.
So it's recommended.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, or just grab gas
And then,
station,
of
grab
course,
a G Fuel or a C4 from the gas station.
Yeah, I mean those are fine.
Those are fine too.
But I mean, you have to know your body. You know what I mean? Like you have to know what you're.
I
What you're
wouldn't take the
intaking.
high sugary energy drinks.
No,
Just stay away
like
from
Monster,
Red Bull.
Yeah,
No.
those are all. Yeah, I
It's a
would
cup of
definitely-
sugar.
Yeah,
a
pretty
bottle
much
of
on a yeah. And then of course for me, because I know you probably want to get into this with SORMs. I do take SORMs,
That's all.
and it's funny. Me and my wife were talking the other day. She's like, "You take steroids." I'm like, "No, I don't, babe. I take SORMs.
Swarms.
It's not a
It's not the
steroid.
same.
Yeah, it's an anabolic. Look it up real quick. If you look up SORMs, it has a definition of it. It's not steroids. It says SORMs is not steroids. It's a muscle. SARMS. SARMS.
SARMs. You say there you go.
SARMs. So it's a muscle enhancer.
Are a class of therapeutic components that have a similar anabolic properties as anabolic steroids, but reduced androgenic. As an example of androgenic receptors, let me just put it on here. Receptors are activated by binding androgens and such as testosterone.
So in English, what does that say, Joey?
Androgen receptor molecules, or SORMs, are a class of androgen receptor ligands that maintain some of the desirable effects of androgens, such as preventing muscle loss, reducing risk of develop.
So it's a steroid.
So how many pounds can you gain of muscle?
Oh man, it depends on the person. It all depends on the person. How you
Because
eating?
with steroids, you can do like
A lot.
30 pounds in like 6 months. Or
No,
3
now
months.
it's SARMs. No.
Oh, okay.
The most I've heard was maybe like 10 to 15, but
And
not.
how long? You still have to train as hard
Yeah,
as
yeah.
you-
Anything. Yeah, anything. You have to train and you have to, eat
Right,
a significant
yeah.
amount of food.
Yeah, you have to be at like your peak to be able to say, okay, I'm gonna push past my peak and just go.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if you're overweight, lack
yeah,
of
taking
discipline,
no. Don't take supplements that are gonna harm you or anything. I mean, I would definitely say pre-workout, protein, powder. I take the pills. I take those pills that y'all were talking about last week. I do take those.
Those protein pills.
The protein pills.
Oh, the
I
protein
take those.
pills.
Those 0
So
calories.
So protein.
He's the one that got me on them.
Yep.
Because his diet is 60% protein.
Yeah. So that's a great point. I mean, if your diet's already there and yours isn't, that's gonna be that's how it weighs out. So pre-workout, protein, BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, and
There's been a lot of discussion about BCAAs.
yeah, there has been. There really, really has been. I don't know, man, if it really does help you or if it kind of hinders you. I like the flavor. I like the flavor because I drink water. I mean, I drink like 2 of these a day, so I like the flavor. So it's like a different flavor for me. And I mean, there have been times where I have felt a difference, but then there have been times where I'm like, man, my BCAAs, they're not kicking in yet. They're not doing anything for me. So, normally if I don't have enough money or I'm low on funds, I won't get BCAAs. Because it's all in the food.
Right.
It's all in the food.
Yeah, it's
so
all in
typically,
the proteins
yeah,
and everything that you,
everything that you're eating. So, and that's why another reason why you need to eat.
What do you think about creatine?
I think it's good. Depending on your goals, what you're trying to do.
Should a beginner take it?
Yeah, because normally beginners are not. You're trying to get bigger.
Right.
Normally.
Gain that muscle.
Normally, typically. We did it in high school. It bloated the crap out of me because it holds water. Now they have some that are, they're different. What are they called? They don't hold the water as much as a normal creatine does. So I don't know. I'm not a supplement expert. That's why I go to a supplement guy. Gary's my guy, man.
Gary, where's Gary at?
F&H supplements. Shout out to F&H supplements in Conroe because I just go to him and he has a scale that you sand on and you're pretty much you have nothing on the 360 scan.
Right.
And he scans your body and it tells you everything.
Oh yeah, I have that one, but from Project Fitness.
Okay.
And it's sad.
And that's good. And that's maybe that's one thing
That was
you
when
need
I
to
You
do.
know
first
what?
started
I'm gonna go
two-
do it.
2
Every
years
month.
ago. I need to do it again.
I need to go.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
month. Every month you need to do it. And yeah, it gives you all your measurements of everything, arms, legs, everything. So,
Actually, I saw somebody get it done. But
so
all right, Joey.
yeah,
Well,
man,
thank you so much for joining us today.
for sure.
You said we need an hour and a half, and I feel like we still needed more. A few topics we didn't get into, but
Dang, it's already. Oh,
time
snap, I didn't-
flies when you're having good
fun.
conversations.
Yeah,
So
Sounds
we'll
good.
definitely have you back. There's a lot we need to talk about.
yeah, for sure. For
Right
sure.
now, it's just an intro show for you, so people get to know you.
Yeah.
'Cause, a lot of people have misconceptions of like, oh, look, that guy, he's fit. He
Take steroids.
never takes steroids. never faced any issues.
And that was that's
Yeah,
one
never
thing
had
that,
any issues. Was always skinny,
Yeah.
Oh,
and we
yeah,
learned
gotcha.
today that you weren't.
Yeah,
weren't
no,
always skinny.
I was
Was hard.
fat. I was my whole family was actually overweight at one point in
And
time.
it's like, oh well, what if he never had injuries or
Yeah.
stuff like
Oh,
that.
I got you. I
So
got
a lot
you.
of people. That's
Yeah, I
good.
mean, I take pride in what I do and definitely what I look like. It's just one thing that I have taken pride in ever since I did my first show because there's a lot of discipline in it. There's a lot of discipline, and people try to. That's why I say a lot of majority percent of the population they want that,
Mhm.
but what are you willing to do for it?
But are you willing to sacrifice?
What are you
for
willing
it?
to sacrifice for it? And the last thing I have to say is tell me what you eat and I'll tell you what you look like.
Oof.
That's
That's
it.
deep. What's your social media? What's your Instagram?
At
People
Just
call
Grind Training 33.
it Just Grind Training 33. All right, Joey. Well, I appreciate you coming on today.
Sir. Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.
Guys, I hope everybody liked the show today. We ask that, of course, you share. Please share, tag some friends that maybe had some questions that this would help them.
Yeah.
If you guys want to have more info from Joey, he'll be tagged on here as
Need
well.
a free session? Come see me. PA Fitness.
There you go. So he'll be there. But we're happy, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, sounds good.